Welcome to Busan FM News at 10. I'm Esther Seo. South Korea's import prices again fell in December from a year ago as global oil prices continue to slide, central bank data showed today. In local currency terms, import prices tumbled 13% on-year last month, quickening from a revised 8% fall in November, according to the preliminary data from the Bank of Korea. It marks 28 straight months of an on-year fall in import prices. From a month earlier, import prices fell 5.1% in the cited period, also picking up from a 0.9% dip in the previous month. The fall was blamed on weakening oil prices. The price of Dubai crude oil, South Korea's benchmark, plunged 21.9% on month in December. Export prices fell 4.3% on year, accelerating from a 2.2% fall in November. On a monthly basis, they declined 2.4%, turning around from a 1.2% rise in the previous month. The central bank explained export prices fell as a drop in the price of oil products outweighed a strengthening U.S. dollars. The prices of food and beverages like beef and coffee in Seoul are among the highest in the world despite the number of free trade agreements, or FTAs, South Korea has signed with other countries, a consumer report showed Monday. In a survey of 13 major cities throughout the world, Seoul was found to have one of the highest prices for 35 food and drink items, according to the report by local civic group Consumer Korea. The prices of 42 different supplies and products were studied in June and October of last year. The cities surveyed in the report include New York, Beijing, Tokyo, Berlin, Paris, London, Milan, Toronto, Sydney, Madrid, and Amsterdam, and Taipei. The report showed that the local Starbucks coffee chains in Seoul, for example, sell the most expensive tall-sized cup of Americano in the world at 4,100 won, exceeding the price of same coffee in Paris, Beijing, Tokyo, and Amsterdam. Seoul's price is 65.5% higher than the cheapest cup of Americano sold in New York. In local news, water utility bills for 4 cities and counties in Gyeongnam will increase this year. According to an official in Gyeongnam, Yangsan, Geoje, Haman, and Changneung are the 4 cities and counties that will experience increase in water utility bills. Yangsan City will increase sewage fees by 60% on average next month, and Haman-gun water utility bill will increase by 15% on average beginning in March. Geoje City sewage fees will increase by roughly 50% between June and July, and Changneung-gun plans to increase water utility usage fees by February or March. The professional baseball exhibition games based on a 10-team system will begin on March 7th. This year's exhibition games will run for 16 days total until March 22nd. Each team is scheduled to play 14 games and a total of 70 games will be played between all teams. The Korea Baseball Organization is planning on holding both home and away games to more actively promote professional baseball in Korea. News. Hackers claiming to work on behalf of Islamic State militants seized control of the Twitter and YouTube sites of the military's U.S. Central Command on Monday. The hackers titled the Central Command Twitter page Cyber Caliphate with an underline that said, I love you, ISIS. The site was also filled with threats that said, American soldiers, we're coming, watch your back. The tweets came shortly after U.S. Central Command posted its own tweets about the U.S. and partner nations continuing to attack the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, and also after repeating a report that said France would deploy an aircraft carrier to the flight. Some IS militant videos also were posted on the Central Command's YouTube site, aiming to show military operations and explosions. The Pentagon swiftly suspended the Central Command Twitter site and terminated the YouTube site. And now for the weather. Today's weather will be in influenced by high pressure coming in from western coastal areas. Morning skies will be mostly clear in Busan, Ulsan, and Gyeongnam. A dry weather advisory has been issued in some parts of Busan, Ulsan, and Gyeongnam. Fine dust concentration levels are normal. Waves will rise from 0.5 to 2.5 meters in the seas. The estimated daytime high in Busan is 11 degrees Celsius. It is currently 6 degrees here in Busan. That's all for this hour's news, and thank you for joining us. Now you're listening to Busan EFM.